right, Coach. We're going to start the press conference. We're joined by Michael Jackson and Coach Moreno. Coach, your thoughts on the game?
I think that we play very good game for us. Even we don't have our complete team. You only have one player be able to play. But we play with great effort. We play with great desire and determination to play the best game that we can play. We follow a game plan. There's nothing we can do against their shooting ability from three-point shots. But we dominate them on the offensive and defensive rebounds with a total of 49 to 36. We have to cut down the turnovers. We cannot play the game with more than 12 turnovers during the game. But anyhow, we are happy. We are happy because we play the way we want to play, and we deserve better things for our team in the future. And it's not complaining about the loss of the game, as long as you play hard and you play with great effort to win the game.
Michael, great game. If you could just give us your thoughts on the game as well.
Well, first of all, we got to give thanks for the opportunity here playing basketball for our national team. And the game was, as the coach said, we followed the game plan. We know we had like a lot of players that can play today, but we come out and do our best. Step on the floor, give our best, give our effort out there. Every plays, we push our body. So I think I don't have nothing to regret about the game. We play hard as we can. We did our best. So I think as a team we did our best.
Leading into this next window, where do you guys expect to go from here? What do you need to do better? Just give us your thoughts on that.
We was like 7 minutes away to qualify for the next round as the best fourth team on the groups against Puerto Rico. We was winning by 5 points. We didn't take care of the things that we take care of here in USA. We lost that game, and that game cost us maybe the qualification for the next round. But we have 2 games at home. We are thinking about Puerto Rico in February, same in Mexico. And I think if the other games get the scores or the winners team that we need to win on the other group, if we can beat Puerto Rico and Mexico in our home, we are expecting to go to the first World Championship in all time of Colombia. But we just wait. We have to get prepared. We have to get together with time and see that we have a good team to be in better position. We are happy, first of all, to be on the FIBA ranking. We have never been on the FIBA ranking, and we are right now. Even though we are at 53, but we rank 13 better positions on the last position that we have. And we start improving, we start growing up as a team and as a basketball game in Colombia. So we're just expecting better things for our team.
Thank you both for a great game. Appreciate it.
A question for both of you. Kind of on an individual level, which players really stood out tonight for you on your team?
This is a team effort, and we have to enjoy it, whatever good thing does any player of our team. So I know some players are going to score, some other players are going to rebound, some other players setting a good screen. So we need to valorate all of them. Even not the one who scored. Michael scored 25 points, Romario scored 24 points, and that's good for them individually. But they score because the effort of the whole team. And this is what we have to do, is to play as a team. If we don't care who score more, but I think the whole team, all of them, the 9 players who came into the game, they played the best effort and the best game that they can play.
We can start. So you can start with an opening statement.
Okay. First of all, I'd just like to compliment Colombia. We've had 2 really difficult games with them. I have a lot of respect for their program and their staff. It's hard to, play road games and travel and play at this level. So we're thankful for the win. We needed to respond after the Brazil game. It bothered our group, and I thought we came out in the first quarter and set the tone of how we would like to play. We really felt that 2 things were important in this game: their ability to steal the ball and get into transition, and their ability to offensive rebound the ball. Those were things we talked about. They're elite at both those things. We won the game. I don't know how well we did on those 2 things. I think they had 18 or 19 offensive rebounds, and we turned the ball over some. But thanks to Langston and the guys that have kind of been with us before, if you notice that closing lineup we had, those are guys that have played in this and played in multiple games at this level, and I felt that was the group to finish with. And they delivered, and I'm really happy for them.
Jim, you mentioned a little bit about your group not being happy after the Brazil game. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the last couple days have been like after that loss?
Well, what you have to do, I think, is this is a 2-game season. So in an 82-game season, you would clean up after every game, things you have to do better. And we had players that hadn't played in this before, but you always have a new team in this. So there's kind of a forming, period. And so we had to use the Brazil game as a learning moment and a teaching moment. So we cleaned that up first, what we thought we didn't do well, what we thought we could do better, what we thought would transfer to this game. And then we also had to prepare for Colombia. So it was a busy weekend, but the guys locked in. We do walkthroughs in the hotel. We go to practice, we watch film, and we kind of have a process that we use. But this is really about the character of your guys. And we got a high character group, guys that care, and I thought we responded.
And Langston, you and I spoke on the phone a couple weeks ago, so nice to meet you face to face. But you had that big fourth quarter, and I know that you have done a bunch of these windows. The more you do them, do the games become more important to you?
It gets closer to qualifying. This was an important window because we knew we needed to qualify. Came out, however you put it, Brazil game wasn't our best game, and we knew we had to bounce back some way, some form. And I think everybody kind of knew it. Coach stressed it, and we just put our hard hat on. Knew it was going to be a hard-fought game. They didn't have their best players available tonight, but they were going to come out and play hard. So we knew we had to come out, punch them in the mouth early, because we knew that they were going to come with their best shot and try to beat us, especially their first time playing in America. So it definitely wanted to come out and show out here. So. I'm just proud of all the guys. I'm proud of our coaching staff because we've accomplished a lot in a short amount of time, and we just got to continue to build. And I'm just excited to be a part of this and see what happens. Hey, if I'm here, ready to go for the next window.
So do you watch tonight? Do you wait to see what happens with the Brazil-Mexico game to decide or to celebrate and see if you've made it or any of those kinds of things?
Well, yes, we're going to celebrate this win, and then we'll wait to hear what happens. And if we qualify, great. If not, we'll get ready for the next challenge. I've said this before, but this is the most competitive thing I've ever been a part of, because you put a group of guys together, You build the team in, 10 days, and you practice for 7, and you play games you have to win. And it's such a challenge, but it feels so good. It just does. And the old saying, anything that's not hard is probably not worth as much, and this is hard, so it's worth it a lot.
And every window is like that. Why do you think this one was maybe a little bit more challenging than a couple of the previous ones? If that's even true. Just from afar, it seemed like that.
Well, they're all challenging in different ways because of the format. Brazil, I thought was, when they were ready, they played desperate, and I mean that as a compliment. They needed to win, and they played that way, and you have to give them credit. Colombia just came in and competed. It's funny, they're down two guys, but guys step up in the roles. And what we say is, no matter where you're from, what country you're from, when these teams step over the line, they play, and they compete, and they hit you, and they keep coming. So I think I can speak for Langston too. Like, we have so much respect for just this whole process, and how it works. It's just amazing to me.
Then, Langston, I was going over our interview actually today, and I did not ask you this, but I talked to some of the other guys about it. That, assuming you qualify, you don't get to go. You don't get to go to the World Cup. You know that. I know that. So, what can you describe like the glory for you in this? Like, is it just to qualify and to say like this is the thing I did for my country, something like that?
I mean, you have to look at the small victories. To be able to wear the USA on the front of my chest, everybody in the locker room's chest, and then to be able to represent your last name, like have Galloway on the jersey, like that's big. I could tell my kids, my grandkids, like and then I have pictures. I have a lot of like memories. They won't know where the game is at. They just see, oh, Dad played for Team USA.
That's right.
And what coaches always preach to us is, hey, we're still the senior men's national team, regardless of, if we go to the World Cup or the Olympics, whatever the case may be. Hey, you never know. Sean might say, hey, we need some guys to practice. Hey, I'll be there. So it doesn't matter to me. I look at it as an opportunity to get better, opportunity to showcase my skills, opportunity to compete for this guy, man, right here to my left. So it really means a lot that, I get to go out there and have fun and do what I love.
His professionalism, Langston's profession, is a big part of this. So although maybe he doesn't go to the World Cup, he's one of 297 guys since '92 that have worn that jersey. 297 guys. That's it. In 30 years have worn that jersey that he's wearing. So he takes a lot of pride in that. We take a lot of pride in that, and nobody's ever going to take that away from him.
And then do you, because you had a really nice career in the NBA, and you talked about hoping to get back. But how does this experience, I guess, compare, even if it does? And I know that can be a tough question, but having been in the league for as long as you were, and now you're doing this, is there a comparison there?
I don't think it's a comparison. I mean, to be able to play, somewhat to compete against guys all around the world, but this is something different. You're competing against other nations, other countries that they want to beat the USA. So it's like it's a whole different like responsibility, a whole different kind of meaning to it, and then it's based off of 2 games. Like everybody's like, oh, you guys are playing how many games? I'm like 2. That's all you get, and you have to win 1 at a time. And throughout my windows, we went 7-1. So that's big. It's important for me because I knew coming in, I'm all about winning. I could care less about how it gets done. We got to win, and that's why I look at this as like this is completely different from the NBA, completely different style, completely different players you're playing against. But at the same time, hey, it's still 94, about 50, it's still 10 feet. You still put the ball in the hoop. And I just enjoy it. I enjoy playing, and I hope to continue to do this for as long as I can.
Langston, can you talk about the differences between the physicality that you've experienced with FIBA versus G League and NBA, if there's any difference at all for you?
Yeah, no, it's a huge difference. You know, you walk away from these games and you're a little beat up. You're a little beat up. But it's fun because, you know, sometimes you can kind of get away with a bump here, bump there. You can kind of hand check. You know, you can go in the post and you could 6, 7 back, like you could back down 6, 7 dribbles, and it's like, man, you can't do that in the NBA. Like somebody's gonna come here and call 5 seconds. You know, it's going other ways. So it's way different. It's just a different mentality, different physicality. But it's a great like learning experience because a lot of guys on our team, the first game they were like complaining like, oh, that's a foul. Like, oh, this should be a foul. Like, no, they're not calling it. And it's like you got to learn. You got to learn on the fly. And you got to get to the next play because you have no time to complain because the ref looking at you like, well, what do you want? What do you want? Like, I'm not calling. Hey, you got to go. So it makes you respect, you know, the international play. And you've seen like guys like Luka and those guys like talk about how easy it is to score in the NBA, and then you go a little international. It's like it's hard. So yeah, no, I see the difference. It's a big difference.
All right, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.